Queensland, Central Queensland. Let's get some further discussion now ahead of the budget. He spoke about it next week, previewing that. 1 week to the day, I want to bring in independent member for Fowler, Dai Le. Thanks so much for your time, as always. What's your sense of where this is at, the budget? Obviously, the government's trying to manage expectations on cost of living. This has been a big issue for you. In fact, probably before anyone else was talking about it, you were really putting the heat on the government to do something, to provide support. Despite the pressure on the budget, would you still like to see a decent amount of cost of living support flowing next week?
Hi, Kieran. Yes, look, I think that last year when they proposed the $300 energy bill relief to families and the $325 bill relief to small businesses, I supported it, but I also raised the concerns that it was a short-term relief. It wasn't going to be long-term, and at the time, people were sending me their bills or showing me how much they were paying. For a small business, for instance, their bills have gone from about $3,000 a month to about $9,000 to $10,000 a month, and for households, it's gone the same 3 times as well. So the $300 and $325 rebate that was provided was such a really drop in the ocean at a time when we've seen an increase in our insurance costs, our grocery bills, and we've just heard that grocery bills have gone up by 30%. And last week, the energy regulator have proposed that there's going to be an increase of 9% in our bills, and it's just like no matter how much people the government's talking about the relief that they have provided, I don't know if another short-term solution will address the long-term problems of our energy costs.
Sure. And would you support another rebate though? If it seems like that is where the government's heading in the budget next week. There would be another round of energy relief via the rebates. Would you support that at least in the short term?
Look, in the short term, I mean, I'd like to hear what they're proposing first, Kieran, because I just actually had a look at what are some of the taxes on our energy bills, right? We've got the supply charges, environmental charges, metering charges, network charges, retailer charges, and GST, as well as the electricity users charges. So that's in a energy bill. So the government can actually do something that's within their control with those charges and levies on insurance costs as well. So there's something there that the federal government can do for long-term relief. But whatever they put forward next week in the budget, I will have a look at that. And again, it's just going to be such a small, like a drop in the ocean, especially for families and small businesses in Western Sydney and in Fowler. I went to a cafe this week, and there the cost of eggs has gone up from $35 to about $95 for a small business. So everything, the supply chain has gone up. So how will the budget address all of that? Because the small businesses are the backbone of our economy.
Who would you, and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves a little, but it's not that far away, the election now, as you know better than most, with your campaigning in Fowler well and truly underway. But have you put any thought to who you would support in the event of a minority government and hung parliament?
Kieran, I have said this continuously. I don't want to be too presumptuous. The election, I've got to win the election first. I don't take anything for granted at all. The day after I got elected in May 2022, I have worked relentlessly. My team has worked relentlessly to serve thousands of constituents in our electorate, and I will continue to do so. So I'll wait. But what I know is that I will fight and ensure that my community will be at the front and centre of any government that's going to be formed after the election in May. So the needs of my community will be my priority.
Will you tell your community before the election, or will you wait to see the result before you make it clear which way?
I think we have to wait and see the results and to see, because it's such an unpredictable election, and it's a very complicated election. I think this election, there'll be other independents coming through, I believe, as well, or there are other independents contesting out here in southwestern Sydney. So we wait to see what will be the makeup of the new parliament will be. But I know for sure that for me, the priorities will be the needs of my community through education, health, infrastructure, and the small business community. These will be my ask, whoever got the most numbers in terms of their seats in the federal parliament.
Member for Fowler, Dai Le, appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.